How's it going, everybody? I'm going to try to find a different visible satellite that I had set up, and now I can't find it. That one's a good one. Where did I put that other one? Don't you hate it when you put your keys down? Oh, there it is, and you can't find where they went. Good one. Where did I put that other one? So let's see. Ryan, afternoon. Don't you hate it when you put your keys down? Oh, there it is. And you'll see a couple of different things. That one on the top left, that's the severe weather outlook for, well, the Midwest, really. The next one, just right above me up here, is what each color means. That might be. Don't you hate it when you put your keys down? There it is. You'll see a couple of different things. That one on the top left, that's the severe weather outlook for the big visible satellite radar. The Midwest, really. That's what's happening right now. And this the next one, just right above me up here, is what we're watching. Is what each color means. That might be. So up here, can get over here before any storms. You'll see a couple of different things. We're out of the top left. That's the severe weather outlook for the big visible satellite radar. The Midwest, really. That's what's happening right now. So let's see. The next one, just right above me up here, is what we're watching. Is what each color means. That might be. So up here, this is just to answer questions. This is severe weather isn't there. Out of the top left. It's just possible this war. And I've been getting a lot of questions on the Midwest, really. That's what's happening right now. What about Fairburn? What about the next one, just right above me up here, is what we're watching. Is severe. What each color means. That might be. Okay, that should fix it. Thanks, thanks, guys. I had two going at the same time. This should be fixed. Okay. Yep, I had two microphones going at the same time. Sorry about that. Always seems like I always do something wrong at the goodness, no, multiple microphones. Similar, Brian. Okay. So if you have questions, I had a lot of questions on Facebook, and I figured, you know what? I got ready as fast as I could so that if storms happened, that I would be ready to go at a moment's notice. So I have some time. I'm ready for my 5 o'clock show. I've got everything except the website, but that's fine. So if you have questions, you can see the cell by Valentine last night. Oh, did I see? Yeah, I did. Pretty crazy. Hi, Vasta. Looks like the line is almost past Lincoln. Yeah, as soon as this line goes by the wayside, we're good. I mean, there's still storms up here that may affect parts of central and eventually northeastern Nebraska, but this line, that's what we're watching. So yeah, Tyler Q, that's it. I mean, that's what we're watching right now. So this is a good time to do a YouTube live, because if it starts to pop, we'll see it. Let's look at our cameras. So this is what it looks like outside. You see there's just those puffy cumulus clouds. What a cap is it's basically warm air aloft. Like it's normally when you go into the upper levels of the atmosphere, it gets colder and colder and colder, and warm air rises. So when you get storms, that's that warm, moist air just billowing up through that cold air. But if there's a cap in place, all of that billowing runs into that warm air, and it's like, wait a minute, I can't go anywhere because it's warmer than I am. So it basically just stops it. So you have it's called an inversion too, and when you have warm air aloft, it stops those storms from forming. Now, if the storm potential is strong enough, it'll just blast right through that, and then you get storms like crazy. And that's where we're at right now. It's very possible that could happen. We're just waiting to see if that warm, moist air can get through that cap. Let's see. That's the only one we're worried about. Yeah, I mean, we're just the very beginning of this. Oh, yeah. Bestie is asking about the cap. Hang on, I'll kind of show you. So this right here, see that circle, that black circle there? That's where the red line is temperature. See how it's kind of going down? That's temperature is falling, and then it quickly zip. That's the temperature going up. That's the cap right there. That's that warm air right there, and then it goes. Then it starts cooling back down. So anything needs to get through that weird inversion right there, and then we would have storms. And it's just and it's not much. I mean, if you even look at the cap graphic that I have, it's not really showing anything. It's just a small, weak kind of cap, but it's strong enough that it's holding back these storms. Hi, Jose, GBR TV, good to see you. What are the storms in northeast Nebraska going to look like later? Okay, let me get that up for you here in just a second. So anyway, hopefully that explains the cap. Now, will Fremont get this? I mean, we're watching it right now. Let me go to the satellite real quick. Why is the cap in place here but not, say, Iowa and Minnesota? Because that warm air isn't aloft up there in Minnesota. See all that? There was nothing in place. It was just over us. So the inversion is basically right here. So if anything can get popped through that inversion, that cap, from northeast Nebraska through Omaha, Lincoln, south, then we would see strong storms. And usually if you get one to do it, it's like a chain reaction. And it's not happening now, but it could happen downstream. And that's kind of what, let's see, who was asking? Luke was asking about storms in northeast Nebraska. And if I missed your question, I apologize. But I'm going to show you this model run. See that right there in southeast Nebraska? I mean, when I say southeast Nebraska, I'm talking about extreme southeast Nebraska. This right here, oops. This right here is the beginning of it. Watch what happens. See, it gets out from underneath that cap, and the storms are able to pop. And let me zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see what's happening. So the frontal boundary is right like this. But there's so many moving parts. That's why meteorology is hard. There's 1,000 things. It's kind of like golf. There's 1,000 things you can do wrong to mess up your golf swing. There's 1,000 things that can mess with a weather model to prove it wrong. And one of them is that cap, which is kind of what we have in place here right now. But it's not in place here, and it's not in place here. So it looks like this storm system, I'm going to just kind of move it back and forth. Whoops. Hi. Oh, we got some recordings going on out here, so hang on, folks. So northeast Nebraska, getting back to that, those storms, see this frontal boundary right there? So we could see a line of storms here, and that may affect northeast Nebraska, like right there. That's your 738, and then that's about it. It always seems like the cap is above Lincoln. That's because you live in Lincoln, so you hear about it whenever it happens. It happens everywhere. So if you live in, say, North Platte, and you hear about a cap every so often, you think it happens all the time. If you live in Kansas City and there's a cap every now and then, you think it happens all the time. It's just wherever you live, if you hear about it, you think it happens all the time. See, look at that. So here's the line. Just waiting to see if something pops through it. Let's see. Do I have to leave campus earlier than 1700? Let's see. Let me get back to. Will Fremont get this? Fremont is possible. So M&M, there you go. Kate Cox. All right, I answered that one. John Hartman. How important for this forecast was the weather balloon launch from the Omaha? It was really important.
Coming up at 5, an explosive discovery in a Lincoln neighborhood.
What police uncovered and how a neighbor describes the scene. Oh, wait, was this supposed to be football?
No,
No.
headlines don't give the
Just waiting for them to record things. Balloon launch gives us information, and information is key when it comes to weather. If we don't launch the balloon, we don't launch. Okay, so they're done. If they don't launch the balloons, we have no idea what's going on up there. So very important. HRRR models showed some discrete supercells firing off in extreme southeast Nebraska into northeast Kansas, maybe the best chance for severe weather. That wasn't a question. Joshua, do I have to leave campus earlier than 1700? So 5 o'clock. Not sure what to avoid the storms. Just give it like an hour, and then if we don't see any storms in Lincoln, we should be fine. New SPC. Oh yeah, it's 3. They must have done it early, which is good. Usually when they do it early like this, it means 0 changes. So let me see. So this is the new SPC. Oh, they're recording again. So, I mean, we're still on that edge.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Date set when Catholic cardinals will start the process of electing a new pope.
Why are we saying that was
I think these are all covered, so that's Emma.
But why would
I need my own YouTube studio. I have to share a studio with these yahoos. And I gotta wait for them to get done. The wind is picking up in Lincoln. Jeez, it's been up there all day. Connor, no problem. Glad this helps. Mainly wind and hail for northeast Nebraska. Then, if something pops, yeah, that's. I mean, I hate to rule out an isolated tornado. It can certainly happen. What time passes Omaha? Within the next 2 or 3 hours, if anything can pop. And it's kind of a slow-moving storm, so if it happens. So anyway, here's the latest. I mean, isn't this a weird? I mean, they're really fine-tuning this thing. So you have your best chance for severe weather up here. Your moderate risk from Minneapolis, Rochester, Minnesota is dead center. Eau Claire, Mason City, just north of Des Moines, and then enhanced risk all the way down into extreme southeast Nebraska, and then we're like kind of a starting point. Now this up here, this is for a different potential. That's for the wave moving in from western Nebraska. This is kind of its own chunk of storm potential. So this whole thing is kind of because of a frontal boundary like this. And then this, whoops. And then this is because of a different wave. Okay. What are the chances for Lincoln to get a severe storm tonight? Tonight, pretty low. Right now, this is the highest potential is right now. That's why we're doing this now, because this frontal boundary is moving through. Let me see. And if anything were to form, it'd be now. And I'm not seeing anything on the radar, so that's good. Let's see. Massive clouds coming into Elkhorn. But they can't get high enough to start creating the storms. There's that cap in place that we were talking about. It's all moving northeast for the most part, Vasta, yes. I was always told if the sun comes out on severe weather days, there's a better chance for severe weather when it's cloudy. Yeah, it's one of 1,000 things that help or hinder storms. Sun creates a little more instability. It warms up a little more. You need that warmer air to push through that. If there's a cap up there, and there usually is something up there, if you can get that warmer air, that really, if it warms up, it pushes through those storms. Like right now, if we were to hit 87, 88 degrees, maybe 89, you'd probably have a better chance of seeing severe storms. If you stay closer to 80, it's not warm enough. So there's that point. They're back. All right, I gotta wait for them again. Hang on.
We good, guys?
Hang on. I gotta wait for them to record their thing.
Food for thought.
You may want to rethink dinner when you hear this story. Which items you'll want to keep out of the pantry, and what too many ultra-processed food.
Oh, come on. There's the line right there. So this is the frontal boundary. Just waiting for them to get done, and then I can talk freely. But this is the boundary layer that we're watching. So it's just strong enough that the cumulus clouds are forming, but it's not, the cap's just strong enough to keep the storms from forming. This is the next wave right here. This is going to move like this. So that area I circled on that Storm Prediction Center outlook, this area, that's your next chance for severe weather tonight. Let's see. Did you see that wedge from last night? That thing was a monster. Yeah, that's out my old stomping grounds. I grew up out that way. I grew up west of Valentine. This was just south of Valentine. I was nervous there for a while for those folks at Meridam and Valentine. That thing was on the ground a long time. Spectre says, I'd rather be in the marginal risk than in the enhanced or moderate for this. Yeah. They need to give you a Mr. Coffee next to your Mr. Radar. I like that. Dew point at my place has dropped to 56. That's good news, Mike. Dew point. Let's look. Okay. They're telling me this is their last recording. I doubt it. It's Monday.
I say this. Okay, roll on. Okay, 3, 2. This is covered up with video. 3, 2, 1. Date set when Kathleen Cardinals will start the process of electing a new pope.
There it is.
Revoke and restore. Why UNL now says all of the students whose visas were revoked can stay.
Food for thought. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Food for thought.
You may want to rethink dinner when you hear this story, which items you'll want to keep out of your pantry, and what too many ultra-processed foods can mean for your lifespan. Channel 8 News at 5. No, just cut it at span, right?
Well, you can say Channel 8 News at 5, starts right now, and then you can say Channel 8 News at 6, starts right now.
They're usually in and out.
Okay.
Figures. I tried to do a YouTube live and
Channel 8 News at 5 starts. Okay. All right. Blocking on camera.
We'll just redo this last one here just to make sure. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Food for thought.
You may want to rethink dinner when you hear this story, which items you'll want to keep out of the pantry, and what too many ultra-processed foods can mean to your lifespan. Channel 8 News at 5 starts right now. Channel 8 News at 6 starts right now.
that's new.
Holy buckets.
Hang on, I'm waiting.
It's Monday.
Okay, you guys are done?
Yep.
Woohoo! Okay, welcome back, everyone. Now, this is we got a lot of questions in here, so none of that stuff out west will hit Lincoln later tonight. If it does, it'd just be some light rain. Not too concerned with that. What does it look for Harlan, Iowa? I will get that here in a second. When the dew points and the temps have too big of a spread, that means tornadoes are less likely. I mean, there's a lot there to unpack, but dew points and the temperatures. Yeah, I mean, you want to have high humidity. That helps. I guess that's what you're trying to say, yeah. So what's happening here? Now we're getting to the dew point questions. This is, the circled area is basically the edge, the other side of the front. So the front is starting to move through. You can see things are changing here because you have 50s there, and then over here you have 60s. So the front is moving through, and once that drier air moves into the rest of eastern Nebraska, that's a catalyst. That will sometimes push storms up, and that's kind of what's happening out there right now. Let me get back to, I want to keep looking at this visible satellite. And Erica McCall, so what's the verdict? Confused on who's getting what. And rightfully so, because right now, we're on the edge. Everybody up here is seeing the severe storms. I mean, look at that line right there. That is, they have no problem getting the storms. We do. Nebraska into the southern half of Iowa for now, because the frontal boundary has not moved into this area. That frontal boundary is right here. And the reason, if you look at the Storm Prediction Center, let's look at that real quick, and I'll kind of try to set the stage here. So if you look at what the Storm Prediction Center has, see how it's set up? Where those storms have already formed is this area. And so, rightfully so, they're in the moderate risk. But for us, notice how it's just kind of convoluted. It's like really close together. You got the marginal and the slight and the enhanced all squeezed in. That's because we're not in a great spot for storms. If storms can get going, they would get very severe very fast. But that's such an if that they couldn't put us under a enhanced or moderate risk. So let me zoom in here and show you what I'm talking about. You see this right here? So this area, less of a chance over Lincoln, Columbus, Norfolk, basically nothing over the Tri-Cities. But once you get further east, a slight risk. Once you get even further east, an enhanced risk. So what does that mean? I will show you. That means, let me get I got to get the graphic, this one. This is the one I want. So this boundary layer right here is moving through an area not conducive to storms. It means there's a cap. It means there's not a whole lot of humidity. It means the temperatures just aren't right. It hasn't gotten warm enough. I mean, it's close. It's really close. The heating of the day. Caitlin, my daughter, wants to know what you're drinking. It's basically just water with a little flavoring that I got from Aldi. That's it. Okay, so this boundary layer is going to move like this into an area more conducive for storms. So basically it is now moving into an area where it's starting to be conducive to storms, but not a great spot. The further east you go into Iowa and northwest Missouri, the better chance you're going to have at seeing those stronger storms. So eastern Nebraska, we're right on that edge. As these storms move this way, as this line moves this way, we will eventually see storms pop. Those storms from North Platte, could they somehow connect near Lincoln to the ones east of us? No, here, let me show you why. They're moving the same speed. So there's no way these are going to catch up with this. It's not how the physics of the storms work. But for some pretty decent sized storms there, much needed rain for those guys. How about that? Wisconsin Dells. Somebody asked about Iowa, Harlan, Iowa, and Wisconsin Dells. Let's look at those areas. So Harlan, Iowa, if you look at Iowa, nothing right now, but the storm potential is definitely there. Let me go back to the SPC here. So if you live in Iowa, and where the Wisconsin Dells, where's the Wisconsin Dells? Oh yeah, over here. Would you send your kids to soccer practice at 6 p.m. tonight? Probably. I would check the radar first. And if everything's east of us, you're fine. So Harlan, Iowa, Wisconsin Dells, that's all in this area right here. So be weather aware tonight. If you live in Iowa, Minnesota, or Wisconsin, be weather aware, definitely. But Justin Alger, I'm also a meteorologist, so I would know. I would, up to the second, I'd be watching the radar, I'd be watching everything, and I'd be like, okay, yes, 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 or no, no, no. I would, I mean, if there's even a question, if you're even a little concerned, why bother it? I mean, especially if they're younger kids, they'll be fine. So let's see, did I miss anything? Food for thought, it's always pizza time. I could use a pizza today. Okay, so let's look at that frontal boundary. Let's get back to that, because that's basically, I'm just watching that area. Where's it at? I keep losing that graphic. There it is. So it sounds like a mesoscale discussion was just popped. So let's see where that's at. Yep, there it is. So there's your mesoscale discussion. And this is the area, let's see. National Weather Service. Let me see. SPC. There it is. So the Storm Prediction Center is saying, sorry about that. They have internet issues too. Something with the back end of their websites is slowing things down. Let me see if I can get the information to come up different. There it is. Okay, watch likely 95%. So we're likely going to see, I'm going to post this actually. That's incredible. So that circled area right there is going to see a tornado watch. So that's, I just posted that. Probably better put it everywhere else too. 1 second. I do appreciate you guys when you tell me the SPC is updated or a mesoscale discussion or something like that. So, because I'm busy answering questions like, oh, something happened. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I have so many social media channels. I need an assistant. Does anybody want to? I need my son to be my assistant. Bryce, where are you? Could use you. And I even have to post on Mastodon. Somebody complained that I didn't post on there once. Like, I know, I'm sorry. Okay, I think that's good. Let me okay, now back to YouTube. Let's see. If this dry line passes Omaha without storms, is there a chance for more storms later tonight? Yes, but the severe threat would be a lot smaller. Will we get any rain? We live by Eagle. Probably not. It looks like this storm is going to be east of Beatrice and Lincoln shortly, or the storm possibility. Let me show you that here. There it is. Okay. So the question was, here's what's happening. See this line right here? This right there? That is the troublemaker. That's the thing that is going to cause storms over here. This area over here, and let me move things over. This area right here is ripe for storm potential, storm creation. This area right here is not. So you get this frontal boundary moving through like this, and if it doesn't have the right things to work with in southeast Nebraska, it's not going to pop storms. It's trying. It has been trying all afternoon. It just hasn't been able to do it. That's why you don't see any green showing up via the radar. But once it moves into very far southeastern Nebraska into Iowa, there's nothing holding these storms back. There is now in eastern Nebraska, but in Iowa, there isn't. Omaha's still in play, Alyssa, but it would be between now and like 5. Let's see. What's the difference between a PDS tornado watch and a standard one? PDS means it's going to be bad. Means the potential for EF2s or bigger are a lot higher. So once again, pretty much the immediate Lincoln area isn't getting anything. And I know people think that Lincoln misses out all the time. We just got hit pretty hard not too long ago. So everybody misses storms every now and then. Just because we're missing this one, which was a huge possibility, which we've been talking about all week, just because we're missing out on this one doesn't mean we always miss out on it. Do you think Lincoln will be in the watch or no? I don't think so. I really don't. But I think probably Washington, Douglas, Sarpy, Cass, Odo, Johnson, Nemaha, Richardson, and Pawnee probably will. Yeah, PDS means particularly dangerous situation. So, Cheyenne, you're right. Wish the temperature would drop. Don't like the almost 90 degrees in April. I hear you, Carolyn. Is it safe to go to a walk to the bar, or will I get hailed on in Lincoln tonight? Just give it another hour, and you should be fine. Severe threat for Norfolk the rest of the night. Overnight, there's a chance, and let's talk about that a little bit. This stuff right here, this is going to be moving like this. So notice I'm circling this area right here. Keep that in mind. So that storm over by North Platte is going to eventually move into an area that is conducive to storms later tonight, this area right here. So those storms near North Platte have the chance to be severe now, and then it'll eventually move towards O'Neill and Sioux City. So that circled area is kind of a completely different part of the storm system moving into Iowa and Minnesota. Just one more thing, right? I mean, just one more thing to make things confusing for everybody else. Never switch up. Doing okay. Let's see. Is there a good chance for a tornado in Omaha? It's not a good chance, but it's not a zero chance either. Do you ever envy meteorologists in Arizona or California? Yeah, a lot. JRT, it means that too. Of course, I go on vacation, we get storms. It's gorgeous here in Georgia. Enjoy your time down there, Lethal. Good to see you. All right, so let's go back over here. I'm going to look at the cameras. Ooh, look at that. That's looking west. There is not a chance. I think Lincoln's pretty much in the clear now. Yeah, that's we're pretty much done. Let me see what the temperature is. In fact, I live in southeast Lincoln, and we're at 83. And yeah, we just dropped. The dew point just dropped quite a bit from like 65 to 60. Let's see. Do tornadoes form easier based on direction of the storm? I remember. Again, I say this a lot. Storms need about 1,000 things to have happen for that to get severe and particularly nasty. Direction is just, I mean, it depends on where all of the moisture is. Where's the cold front? Where's the fuel that it can tap? Direction just is one other thing. But no, I mean, it doesn't really matter where the storm comes from as long as everything's in place. The gust of wind took out my internet. 40, really? Sorry to hear that, Nebraska man. Yeah, those clouds are moving. I was watching them early today. And temperature-wise, we just didn't hit that peak heating spot. Here's your high temperatures for the day so far. We got to 88 in Lincoln. So, I mean, we were close. Timing just wasn't there. We needed that 88 like 2 hours ago. But it's 88 now. So it's too late. Dalton, kind of hope you're right. I mean, I would like to see rain, but I mean, we've seen one mediocre storm a year and then sees nothing. It's funny how people get upset that we miss out on really severe weather. It never ceases to amaze me. And it's April. I mean, May and June are your most active time periods for severe weather in this part of the world. So you better knock on some wood there, bub. Will the cold front dramatically decrease temperatures but not the humidity after it passes? Oh, hi, Kirsten. I remember Kirsten when she was this big. What was the question here? Dramatically decrease temperatures? No, but the dew point will go down. I mean, we're starting to see that now. Let me see if I can get that dew point up here. See, there you go. The dew point, basically, the higher dew points are moving east. Look at 36 in Hebron, 43 Grand Island, 38 in Holdridge, but still in the 50s and 60s, just a little further east. So is Lincoln in the clear for storms now? Yeah. Lots of chances for the ice cream fun. Absolutely, Cameron. Ice cream fun. I always forget about that. Appreciate that. Let me get back to the visible. See, so if you're just joining us, which I say on TV a lot, this is the boundary layer that had the potential right here. That right there is what could have sparked the very severe weather for southeast Nebraska. It just didn't have, if you need 10 things to start severe weather, it had about 6 of them. And it needed 7, 8, and 9 and to get those storms going to eventually get to 10. Didn't quite get there. It will eventually. We're going to see a watch in this area right here, a tornado watch. Let me get that. So here's the mesoscale discussion. Right there. See how close? See that line? You can even see it. That line right there follows that red line. So that's exactly what the National Weather Service is watching. And this right here, that's your frontal boundary. That's going to move east. As it does, it's going to run into all of this is going to, this frontal boundary is going to move into a very unstable atmosphere. We're just not unstable enough from Beatrice, Lincoln, north and east. So there you go. Hey, look at that. Caitlin, thank you. W in the chat. I have to tell Jillian and Bryce. Let me see. Very cool. Thank you, Caitlin. Ice cream fun. I'm going to the ice cream shop this weekend now. So anyway, this is the area we're watching, and the Storm Prediction Center. You can see it. You can see that boundary layer right there. It just doesn't have enough to work with over Lincoln and pretty much Omaha too. It does though. Look, you just have to go a little further north. See, they form right there. They form into basically northwest Iowa into Minnesota. And there's already a tornado warning just northwest of Minneapolis. I have a sister-in-law that called my wife or texted my wife today. Said, oh, everybody's talking about this severe weather chance like it's a blizzard or something. What's going on? It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, this area right here, it is a big area. You're right, Cameron. This whole area right here had no limitations when it comes to severe weather. There was no cap in place. They had enough moisture. They had the right temperatures. Everything was perfect for severe weather there. It's perfect also down here. It was not, and still isn't. It's trying, but it's still not. I mean, it's not conducive to severe weather from Lincoln west. I mean, we were right on the edge. How long roughly until the boundary pushes into Iowa? This thing's slow. It really is. I want to say a couple hours, but I mean, look at that. This is over the last hour, and it's just kind of sitting there. And it's getting closer. I mean, look at these storms over here. So it's starting to kind of filter its way down. And once this boundary moves into Iowa, and maybe southeast, like if you say Richardson and Nemaha, maybe Odo and Cass. But it's a slow mover. I mean, it's... my fiber internet connection is gone because... Oh no, sorry, Jose. Should Omaha be worried about the storm happening over North Platte? No, Vasta. Can we just get a full day of slow soaking rain? I don't think that exists anymore. It's all or nothing. Is Beatrice safe? Yes, Debbie. I always get a Beatrice question. Love the people in Beatrice. So yeah, these storms over here, let's talk about that, because there's a lot going on. I mean, there really is. You've got this over here, which is already very severe. You've got this, which is about to be severe. And then this, what's happening over here? And look at that, you got snow in the Black Hills. And then you've got this over here. So this is another potential. This is a different, separate portion of everything that's happening in eastern Nebraska. This is, let's see. See that convective outlook right there? Hang on, let me see the green and the yellow. So basically, these storms right here are going to follow this into north central and northeast Nebraska. And so this area right here, so this storm that I'm pointing at is basically going to move into this area. This circled area is a completely different portion of the storm potential than this is over here. Isn't that crazy? Let it rain. Yeah, everybody wants rain. I know. Everybody. I hear it 1,000 times a day. We need rain. Jillian's very happy we have ice cream fun for this weekend. And she's got a birthday coming up on Wednesday. So definitely getting ice cream for her. Did you ever have interest in being a storm chaser? I did back in the 90s. And then I realized it's hard. I mean, you have to have the right setup, and I didn't have anybody to chase with. I was in college, and then it just exploded. And now there's like 1,000 people on the road at the same time trying to get that one shot. Like, I have kids, I have a wife, I have, no thanks. Maybe if I was 30 years younger, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing right now. DDM 8-ball, thank you. I'll tell Jilly Bean that she said thank you if she's watching. Is Elkhorn safe? Yes. That line is like a raging bull and waiting to explode. And it's probably going to do that in Iowa. How many times a day does he hear we need rain? When I'm at work, it's probably, depends on how much I'm on Facebook and Twitter, but just about every single post I do on Facebook, someone says it. So I'm going to say probably 40 or 50 times a day I hear it, which is funny that when you tell a meteorologist we need rain, do they think I don't know? I don't know. Or are they just want to say it? I think that's probably it. Sure thing, Kevin. Should I validate my parking? Always a good idea. I would. You should keep track how many times. I don't want to keep track of how many times I hear it. I try to forget it as soon as I hear it. Just stepped outside. It's not humid at all. Where I am in Omaha, humidity is down to 37%. Will be interesting to see if Omaha does get included in the watch. I bet they're waiting to see where the line is eventually going to pop. It's probably just going to be Iowa. If it includes Nebraska, it'll be maybe like Nemaha and Richardson. Or charge $1 to anyone who says it. That's the other thing. The other, you know what I'm talking about. I'll charge $1 for that. We need rain. That hasn't got to the annoying factor that other thing does. What about cloud seeding for Nebraska? They really don't do that anymore. I remember a story back in the 70s in South Dakota. They did it once in and around the Rapid City area. And like 2 days later, they had baseball-sized hail everywhere, and it just destroyed everything. So they just stopped doing it. And I really don't think anybody does it anymore. If they do, it's on a small scale just to see if they can get something, but it just doesn't. It's not as widespread as it used to be because it doesn't work. There's too many moving. Let me put it this way. It would be like putting anti-algae solution, a bottle of it, in the ocean. What good is that going to do? Nothing. Now, if you put that into a pool, it might do something, but the atmosphere is huge. I mean, it's as big as the world, so it just doesn't work. So Minneapolis don't have that BS belief tonight. Yeah, they'll be fine. They know. I know several meteorologists in Minneapolis, and they've got the word out. I think everybody is prepared in that area. When does planting season typically start for Nebraska? I think it's right now. In fact, I know it's earlier, like probably a couple of weeks ago. Oma Dome strikes again. Yeah, that's the $1 right there. So, Kirsten, you owe me $1. 6 or 7 different days that we could see storms. Do you think they'll be severe? It's that time of year. I'm sure 1 or 2 of them will be. So when did I say I was going to be done with this? I think I said 4:30. 3 weeks ago. Thanks, Lyle. Appreciate that. Let me see if this watch shows up. Excuse me. Okay, so far, there's your watches. You've got 2 of them over here, tornado watches. One includes north central Iowa and northwest Iowa and Minnesota, just basically the southern half of Minnesota into western and northwestern Wisconsin. So where there appear to be storms near North Platte, does that mean just to the west there's a cold front that's causing the lift, and then up to the northwest of that, is that what's going on? Well, no. Kind of what's happening is you have up here you have a low pressure center, and that's throwing a boundary layer into this area. So it's kind of a cold front, but it's more of a wave, a boundary layer, that's running into some moisture, and there's just enough heating of the day, enough lift, enough things going at the same time that we're actually getting that storm there. Timex or Swatch? Swatch. Appreciate that, Cameron. Yeah, I remember when I first started doing this, I'd get like 10 people, and now it's at 150. So there appears to be storms near North. Oh wait, I'm hiding out in Lincoln right now, so it should be safe to head back to Omaha in a few hours. Maybe you're probably fine now. I mean, this just isn't popping. Let me zoom in. Yeah, it's past Lincoln now. It's basically over Beatrice, and it's headed towards Omaha. And when I say I'm talking about this little boundary right here, and it just doesn't have enough to work with to fire off those storms. Once it moves into this area right here, that's probably where your next tornado watch is going to be. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Jim. That's exactly what it is. It's a counterclockwise. That's a low pressure center, and you get different waves, kind of like a pinwheel, and each one of those waves can spark thunderstorms. Yeah, there was a cap in place, Kevin, so we weren't able to get the storms to pop through that cap. Let's look at that visible satellite. Visible, 1 second. Let me find that again. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. So this is my visible satellite. There it is. And this is your boundary layer right there. And it just can't get through that cap. Sorry about the black screen there real quick. Over here, this right here, that's a decent amount of rain. Let's look at a weather model here real quick. See what's going to happen. So there's that storm. I want to change this. So hang on. We're going to look at some different models. So bear with me as we kind of go through and change some things. I'm going to turn this into the HRRR, the 3 kilometer high res. So it doesn't go very far out. It goes that far out. So that has storms. See those storms popping in southeast Nebraska into Iowa right there? So that in between O'Neill, Grand Island, and Columbus, that's that one line, and then into Iowa and northeast Kansas, that's that other frontal boundary. Kirsten! Thank you. Appreciate that, Kirsten. That's awesome. Jillian, W in the chat. Jillian, where is she? This means good ice cream for my birthday girl. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let me look at the NAM here. This is a high-res NAM. I'm going to get rid of the clouds. It took me forever to understand what W in the chat means, too. Ooh, look at that. See, look at that line. Boy, that doesn't have it until tonight? That doesn't make sense. Okay, that one confuses me. Let me look at the graph. Okay, so this one has everything basically into Iowa and northwest Missouri by 8 or 9. Has that line of storms from the Panhandle into north central Nebraska done by there. Even has snow moving into Sioux County in the Panhandle. Jillian just said W in the chat. Okay, so let me go back to something here. Let's go. Let's go to the HIII there. Nope, not that one. Extended. Yeah, this is the one I want. Okay, so. All right. So let's do this. Yep, it has. This one just has everything basically quieting down, and that's it by tonight. So we'll see. Here's the satellite and radar. And there's that line, just like that. Like I said, right there. Lightning popping up. There's this line right here that just can't get things going there. That's a decent line of storms, though. Nice line. You guys run out of questions? I think we're pretty much out of the woods now. Let's see if we have that watch issued yet. We do have a red flag warning. That's there just because it's dry and windy and hot. I can't believe we got to 88 today. This is your tornado watch. Yeah, that's I think that's about it. How fast are those lines? Those. Jeez, did you guys hear that? That was the wind. Hang on, let me get back to. So this is. Okay, so let's see. Question: how fast are those lines of storm? Not very fast. They're just kind of sitting there. So maybe to the east at around 10 or 15 miles per hour. Should I buy shampoo with or without conditioner? Without. Always do that separate. When are the winds going to calm down? I agree. They should be better tomorrow. Enjoy these and learning more weather stuff. Kind of sad. Yeah, we don't have storms. What exactly is the cap you referenced on an earlier Facebook page? That's warm. Basically, it's warm air aloft. So you have, it's really warm here, and then it cools off, cools off, cools off, cools off as you go up into the atmosphere, and then there's another layer of just warmer air up there. That's called an inversion. And warm, moist air, thunderstorms will try to push through that, but if they're not strong enough, they just kind of bounce off of it and can't get through. Like think of if you have like a bunch of like 5 or 6 flies in a glass with saran wrap over the top of the glass, and the flies bump into it. That's what's happening with a cap. They just can't get through. Now if you have a fly that's really strong, can just and go through that cap, then you'll get a thunderstorm, and that usually allows all the other flies to get out. That's kind of what a cap is. Let's see. How long does it typically take from mesoscale discussion to watch issuance? Every storm is different. They usually issue it when it looks like things are going to pop, so they can do it immediately. Like I've seen it in 10 minutes. I've seen it not even happen. Usually when it's a 95%, like this one is, you'll probably see it within the hour, sometimes within the half hour, but this one's taken a while, so we'll see. So when you talk about environment is conducive for severe weather, that's because the surface moisture is moving up from the Gulf. How does it all get there? Everything moves. It's like the ocean. And this is really hard to explain, but it's just you get a jet stream, you get a low-level jet, and there's a couple of different ones. And when you get one that comes down and then swoops up out of the Rockies, it's pulling all of that air with it, kind of like a vacuum cleaner, and it just sucks up the moisture and the warm air up from the Gulf and makes it into our area. Sounded like a pop. Yeah, it was. This is just an old building, and when it gets really windy, I'm just waiting for something to fall on my head. Really strong wind gusts in South Lincoln. They've been that way all day, too. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty much in the clear. I haven't seen anything pop, Nisha. See that right along that red line right here? This area right here? This is the boundary layer that will try to form thunderstorms. I think once this area gets into this red area, and especially into Iowa, the storms will pop. So Omaha's not out of the woods yet, but getting closer. So basically anybody inside this red circle has a chance sooner for thunderstorms. I think once things get going, see how they're trying to form up here, everything will eventually move east. If these storms backbuild, do you think they can hit Lincoln? Probably not. Is Elkhorn cleared? Not quite. Just we'll give it a little bit. You're welcome, Jackson. Storm chasers are saying Hastings is supposed to get storms, but I see none of that on weather apps. Hastings, that's over here. I don't think so. For what it's worth, I don't really follow storm chasers, not because I don't want to, it's just I don't have time for it. Chasing storms it takes a very long time, and by the time they get to any area that might interest me, I'm on air, or I'm on TV, or I'm doing it myself. So I don't, and on my off time, I try to stay away from weather because it's exhausting. There's a lot to this. So Lincoln up to 90, how about that? With a 37 dew point, Lincoln's in the clear. John, you're quite welcome. Let's look at the temperature. I got to see that for myself. 90 degrees. Yep, there it is. And then dew point right after it, 37. So that's dry air heats up faster. So from Beatrice to Omaha, still in the 50s, still a chance for storms. 64 Nebraska City, better chance. So your frontal boundary, this right here. So all of this has the chance for storms from that frontal boundary. But everybody else, it's dry. Lincoln, Hebron. Let me hang on. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. DMA dew point. Here we go. Yeah, see that? So here's the line. Anything left, whoops, let me do that again. There's the line right here. So if you're in that circled area, storm threat is now gone from that frontal boundary. Omaha to Beatrice, though, east, basically Omaha to Beatrice, a small chance, better chance where you're seeing the 60s into Iowa and northwestern Missouri. So once that dry air pushes in, that's basically it. Temperature glitch in Colorado, yeah, it's been like that for about a week now. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Beatrice, I don't think we'll see anything. If they see anything pop, it would be probably hail real quick, but it would have to be in the next hour, 30 minutes, because it's just not. See, you would need to see storms popping by now, and I'm just not. And even the ones that do up here are having trouble getting going. That's why we don't have a watch yet in this area, even though there's a 95% chance we're going to see one. It just hasn't happened yet. Yeah, Jessica Ackerman, I'm in agreement with you. This thing is just lollygagging. Oops. And these storms over here, that's a pretty good line. What? And we had a question earlier, how is this happening? Let me see. Let me find my low. There it is. So you got basically, God, where's that? There's a low pressure up here somewhere. And everything spins around like this, and it's basically just firing like that. And then this one is, well, that's not right. Hang on. So you got the low pressure up here. And then it's kind of coming around like this. And that's forming those storms right there. And then in a bigger swath like this, kind of like that. So there's two things happening there. Let's see. By the end of May, if people are faithful to send you that $1 for the question, I expect to see a new car in your future, or walls for a separate office. And JRT, that would be fantastic. Maybe I'll start something up. Let's see. You said it takes several factors to add up perfectly to create a storm. Are there a couple of top indicators or a couple of specific combinations that dictate confidence 1 day out versus 1 week? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big question. 1 day out, if you see instability is high, if there's going to be moisture, warm moist air, and then you can see a cold front, cold dry air moving in, you know that's a really good bet that there's probably going to be something. And also when the weather balloons are released, if there's nothing, no inversion, that helps too. A week out, that's in a time period when you're just watching for consistency, for the models to be consistent over and over again, the same thing over and over again. A week out, though, you're basically looking at, okay, is there enough moisture? Is there going to be a cold front? Where's the low level jet at? What's that? Where's that going to do? Where's that going to be at? And everything can move, especially when it's a week out. Let's see. Once storms do pop in western Iowa, how fast will they be moving? The line itself will probably move east at 20 or 30 miles per hour. The storms themselves inside the line will be moving northeast 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. My mom is flying in from Minneapolis right now. Think she'll run into any trouble on the flight to Omaha. No, those pilots know what they're doing. They'll be fine. What is the main concern here, and from what time frames? Maria, that's a very broad question. The main concern is this right here, this line. And as it moves into Iowa and northwest Missouri, we're going to see probably a tornado watch issued. And there's already a tornado watch for this part of the line for Minnesota and northern Iowa. Have I ever seen a tornado in person? Yes. A funnel cloud. I don't think I've ever seen a tornado on the ground. I'm at work whenever there's one happening. JRT, yeah, Reed Timmer. That guy. I'm sure he's fine now, but 15 years ago, wasn't a not very nice person to me. New 4 p.m. update from the National Weather Service. I'm surprised you didn't ask her where's here. Oh, really, JRT? Yeah, I'm sure. No, Kimberly, that's fine. Yeah, just welcome. Glad you're here. Everything's basically east of Lincoln now. So Lincoln's good. We're waiting for the Omaha Beatrice to be cleared to set the pool out in Ashland for a little bit. Nisha, it is so windy. If you're talking about those little blue things, I probably wouldn't do it. It'll end up in your neighbor's yard unless you get water in it right away. The reason I say that is I saw one on the side of the road today. I'm like, hey, look at that. Let's see. Thank you. I entered your live as you were explaining the tornado watch, but I think I missed some key factors. Yep, no problem, Maria. Sorry about that. All right, I think I've got about 10 minutes left. If anybody has any last minute questions. And thanks again to everybody that put money into this thing. My kids love the ice cream. And if we start getting this channel bigger, it might have to turn into instead of an ice cream fund, like maybe a college education fund. as expensive as college is these days, I might have to do that. We have football tonight? What channel? And NFL or otherwise? Appreciate that, JRT. And thank you, Jessica. Let's do one more run through to see if there's anything. We'll look at that visible satellite again. No watch yet. You can see where it's going to be though. See that? How you've got right here is that watch. And then right along this here, that's probably going to be your next watch. And if it includes anything in Nebraska, I'm guessing Nemaha, Richardson, maybe Odo and Cass, possibly. Do you think the winds will die down in Lincoln once things move through? Yeah, it'll die down. And it's really windy out there today. Wind gusts 40, 45 miles per hour. Did they say what that 2-mile wide tornado was rated last night? Nisha, good question. I don't know yet. I haven't had a chance to look back at what happened yesterday because I've been looking forward to all of this. But in order to know how big of a tornado it was, it will have needed to run into something. Because if it's just out in open fields, which is what's out there, there's no way to know how strong that was. If it didn't move a car, I know it knocked over a train, but was that at the strongest point of the tornado? I don't know. If there's not a lot of trees out there to be knocked apart, there's maybe some fence posts, telephone poles, power poles, things like that. But there needs to be damage in order to assess how strong the tornado was. Otherwise, you don't know. 3rd grade spring football. Oh, that's probably better than the NFL anyway. That's awesome. I did say 4:30. Okay. Just checking my post to make sure I'm honoring my obligations. Yeah, Paul, yeah, it derailed the train. But were they loaded? Were they full? Were they full of coal? My dad used to run that line from Alliance East towards Grand Island, and if they were going back and forth, if they were full of coal, that's something. If they were empty, it's a little easier to push it down. But that's what they need to look at. So, was it a full load? Was it the engine? Did the engine fall down, or was it the other ones kind of fell and then everything else fell in succession? That's something to look at. It's definitely something to look at. Was there anything else? Any other damage? I did hear it might have hit Ashby, I think, or no, not Ashby. Where was that? Out by Hyannis. And then it moved into Cherry County. And if you've ever driven through Cherry County, beautiful country, absolutely love it. But never break down in Cherry County because it could be a while before somebody drives by. There is just not a lot out there, which makes it beautiful in its own right. And if you've never been to the western half of the state, highly recommend. And again, there's not a lot out there, but that's part of what's cool about it. It's such an expansive, open area. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So what are we looking at right here? The visible satellite. It's where I'm thinking the next watch is going to be. It'd be kind of cool if they issued it like right now. And this right here could see some strong storms out of this. It is in an area that has a marginal to slight risk for severe storms, but it doesn't have a whole lot to work with. Okay. Let me look at, haven't really looked at this yet. Let's look at the instability, see what that's at now. Still nothing happening. You can kind of see it's trying. If you look real close, see how there's storms right here? See how it's kind of trying to get down? You can see those green things just trying. I mean, it's there. The flow is there. There's some storms over here towards O'Neill. Anyway, let's look at. Okay, this is the instability. Oh yeah, it's basically when you see this line move east, this is your high instability right here, the reds and oranges, and that's right along that edge there. So Omaha, Beatrice, pretty much in the clear now. Let's go over to the Cape, see if there's any stable. Nope, this one, atmospheric cap. And there hasn't been a lot showing up on here all day, but it's out there. I mean, I think it's in a different part of the atmosphere for this. This won't pick it up, but there's a cap out there. Yeah, that Cape right there. See how Omaha's right on the edge? Plattsmouth is still in it, Nebraska City, Auburn, Pawnee City, Falls City. They're still in it, especially Falls City. I mean, this area right here could see something before it's all said and done. So Richardson County, maybe Nemaha. But over here, Lincoln, Beatrice, that's basically it. Fairbury, Hebron, York, Seward, you're basically in the clear now. Omaha, in and around Omaha. Now, if you go east of Omaha, you're looking at a storm threat still as that frontal boundary moves through. You can see it's still trying to reach. It's coming down. It's trying. I mowed my lawn at 11:30 this morning. The air feels much better now than it did, albeit warmer. Yeah, would you rather mow when it's a little cooler but humid, or hotter but less humid? Do you think this being weather controlled? Jose, why do you keep asking that? I will block you. I have no qualms in doing it. If you keep asking stupid crap like that, I'll block you. Unless you're just joking, Jose, then my apologies. And no, I don't think this is being weather controlled. Glenwood, Iowa. Yeah, anybody in Iowa has a decent chance for storms tonight. So Blaine, yeah, if you live in Iowa, definitely be weather aware. I'm not seeing any watches yet. Somebody asked about. Hang on. Good. You too, Maria. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, there's winter weather advisories in Wyoming. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Let me see what that is. That's over by Fairmont. This is my old stomping ground. See Austin? I worked there for a while. This is Blue Earth, Faribault, and Martin counties until 5 p.m. Confirmed tornado near Ceylon, or 8 miles southwest of Fairmont, moving northeast, 60 miles per hour. Weather spotters confirmed a tornado. So that's headed towards Owatonna, Northfield, Mankato. Interesting. Let me look at this. Yep, there you go. Look at all that lightning. Goodness. Okay, let me hide the lightning. So there you go. Yeah, you can see the little, this area right in here. That's your hook moving north and east. Okay, well, I believe, Jackson, thank you, appreciate it. Oh yeah, my wife is just saying that Fairmont is just down the road from where the Jolly Green Giant statue is in Blue Earth. That's right, driven through there a bunch of times. Anyway, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.